MJF opened quarter one this week and he opened quarter one last week. But with AEW Dynamite, it doesn't seem to matter who starts the show. What's more important is who finishes the previous show. And this week, that was, of course, was the Big Bang Theory. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. AEW Dynamite, the ratings are back with a bang. No pun intended. Last week, MJF was in the opening quarter and he kicked off with a 586,000 rating. This week, MJF's in the opening quarter and he had 846,000 views. So what? We're talking 260,000 higher than last week. What's the difference? What's the change? I'll tell you what the change is. This week they had the Big Bang Theory. Last week they had one of the most overrated movies of all time, The Black Panther.
Wakanda forever, and thankfully it's not going to last forever because it's Big Bang Theory forever. And MJF, is he the draw? No, it's certainly Sheldon Cooper by the looks of it.
Yeah, Sheldon Cooper. It's actually sad though how mad the difference in the opening quarter was this week compared to last week. And can you say it's solely because of the Big Bang Theory? I mean, probably not, but a large part of it is because of the Big Bang Theory, and it's not a good look for Tony Khan. He cannot rely on the Big Bang Theory. It's not a long-term plan to just hope that a good show, a popular show, is going to be on before your show starts. That long-term, that's not going to work. What happens when the Big Bang Theory gets taken off the air and Tony Khan's just going to be starting quarter one with like 200,000 less views? You know, long-term planning, it's a shit show. But let's get into it. This week, quarter one, 8 o'clock to 8:15, kick off with MJF, Daniel Garcia and a Will Ospreay live promo. Did 846,000 views. The key demo did 355,000 views. And this was as good as it got. After this, we never touched the 800,000 territory again. Not even close to it, in fact.
Yeah, it was nowhere near. I mean, the highest after this is 717. So I mean, you're talking 129.
120,000 down. So yeah, it just goes to show that after quarter one, people do tune out and they don't come back. They do not come back. And that's probably the only show that this happens. Well, I'd say the only wrestling show where you see this consistently every week is Dynamite.
Yeah.
And that just tells you that what leads into Dynamite is playing a big factor in that. Because you look at Raw, you look at SmackDown, you look at NXT, and you even look at like Collision and Rampage. Sometimes the later quarters will actually improve on the opener. Especially with SmackDown, and you look at Raw, like quarter 5, you'll often see it. NXT, and even Collision, you'll see Collision when they have somebody that's half relevant in a later quarter. They will improve on the opening. But with Dynamite, you never get an improvement on the opening quarter. Whatever the opening quarter is, it's just down for there. So, yeah, speaking of down, quarter 2, Swerve Strickland backstage promo, Takahashi, Shingo Takagagi, and Titan versus the Blackpool Combat Club, down 17%. So, here we go, you get your champion, your world champ, Swerve Strickland backstage. We then get the Blackpool Combat Club. We're told how this is such a great faction. Jon Moxley's such a huge star. 17% of people tuned out. Quarter 3, 8:30 to 8:45. We get the continuation of these three guys from Japan versus the Blackpool Combat Club. Post-match with Naito, Bryan Danielson. We get then, after that, Rey Fenix versus Jay White. A further 11% lost. Now down to 631,000. And from quarter 1 to quarter 3, Dynamite is down 215,000 views. And it's probably featured, a lot of their top stars from the opening quarter to the third quarter. Yet they find themselves losing 215k. Not good.
28%, almost a third. Certainly not good. You would think with the Big Bang Theory lead-in, though, they've had it for so long, why not try and captivate people, right? You get it more or less every week unless you slap on Wakanda Forever. Why not utilise that? It's like you seen a couple of weeks ago with Swerve Strickland, they knew they were going to get a big rating at the start, so they put the champion out there. Why not show that initiative more often?
But what did he do? He cut a shit promo.
Yes, but at least there was intent. Like here, we're actually going to save this important promo from him for when we're going to get our biggest audience. Well, where's that every week with Dynamite. They don't save the best for the start.
Yeah, but that was dumb booking. The guy wins the belt at the pay-per-view, but he didn't really celebrate it until Saturday night.
No,
But
it was,
but
but
he featured Wednesday and he was in a throwaway jobber match. That was dumb. Quarter four, 8:45 to 9 p.m. Continuation of Phoenix White. We then get post match with Bang Bang Gang, the Patriarchy, Young Bucks backstage. A further 3% loss, 613,000 now. Not good. Not good at all. But quarter five, we get an increase here at the top of the hour, 9 o'clock to 9:15. It was the Acclaimed, Billy Gunn, the Elite Live promo, Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, Anna Jay, Harley Cameron and Saraya versus Mariah May, Mina Sharakiwa, and Tony Storm. 15% increase, up to 707,000. A 19% increase in the key demo, up to 303,000. And this was the only quarter in the key demo, other than the opening quarter, that did above 300,000. So, yeah, people tuning in, I guess, in quarter five. And whatever happened in quarter five was enough to keep people around, because quarter six, 9:15 to 9:30, the continuation of that women's trios match. Then we got Stephanie Fakir, Mercedes Moné backstage promo. And then we got the learning tree with Minio Suzuki and Samoa Joe and Hook and Shibata. And this went up another 1% to 717,000. So strange to see this go up for quarter five. I can only imagine people were liking what they were seeing in quarter five and stuck around to see how it played out in quarter six. Or either that, people enjoyed the Jericho stuff. It's one or the other. They either enjoyed the women's trio match or they stuck around for the Jericho thing. But they wouldn't know the Jericho thing was coming up unless they stuck around for the trios match, which ended quarter five. So I'm actually willing to go on a limb here and give credit to the women for a change on Dynamite. Quarter seven, though, another big loss, 11% down the drain. No surprise, really. It's Kyle O'Reilly versus Zack Sabre Jr. You can't be shocked that 80,000 people have tuned out at this moment. And then we go to quarter eight. We get the continuation of Riley and Zack Sabre Jr. We get the post-match with the former Undisputed Kingdom, Gabe Kidd, whoever this guy is. Then we get this like little small Japanese guy who came down, looked like a midget, and Orange Cassidy, and just stood in the ring staring at each other. Then in the main event, you had Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay taking on the Gates of Agony, the World Champion and the Intercontinental or International Champion, and we got another 3% loss. Incredible. Your World Champ, your International Champ. We hear how good Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay are. These are your two big stars. These are the two guys that are main eventing Forbidden Door. And they've seen a 3% loss. They lost out to Kyle O'Reilly and Zack Sabre Jr. That tells you all you need to know. And then in the overrun, Swerve Strickland and Ospreay versus the Gates of Agony, they went up 2,000 viewers. They went from 615,000 in quarter 8 to 617,000 in the overrun. But the key demo still seen a big loss of 8% in the overrun, which went from 271,000 in quarter 8 to 250,000 in the overrun. So, yeah, very poor for Dynamite. Ratings aren't good. And I think the middle of the show, along with the strong opening because of the Big Bang Theory, I think definitely saved this show. Without the Big Bang Theory being on, you would have probably been looking at maybe like I predicted 6:30, 6:40. I think without the Big Bang Theory, I think it could have been close to that number. I think it would have been very close to that number. But we'll never know, guys. It's all rumours. It's all speculation. It's all we don't know. It's guesswork. But there's no guessing here that Dynamite it's fallen from grace. It wasn't that long ago where they were doing 850, 900k, and now 680k seems like a good rating. And that's when you know things have went down the toilet. Tony Khan needs to get the plunger out. And he needs to get this flushed because he needs something different. Hopefully Forbidden Door, we get that over with and maybe we can start seeing some good stuff on Dynamite again. But there you go, that's your quarter ratings. Catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.